Tian Shen, after hearing this, immediately saw the girl standing before him. Tian Shen stepped closer to her and said, "Teacher Luo, you've worked hard." At that moment, Teacher Luo finally smiled with relief. She grabbed his hand and said, "It's nothing, this is all part of my job." Her younger sister, witnessing the scene, became extremely excited. "They're holding hands, they're holding hands, they're holding hands." Zhang Jinyu, standing in front of everyone, enthusiastically said, "Brothers, today we've defeated Hufeng and unified Longhua City. Tonight, we will celebrate with a party." Everyone agreed enthusiastically, "Great, Brother Chen, long live. Long live." At some point, night had fallen, and everyone gathered around the campfire, singing and celebrating. "Brothers, let's party. Where's the wine? Where's the wine? Is there anyone who hasn't had wine yet?" Everyone surrounded Tian Shen, eager to toast with him. "Hee, in the past, I was blind and couldn't see that you were a master. I'm so sorry, so sorry. Brother Chen, I'll drink to you." Tian Shen also reminded them, "You all are familiar with Longhua City. From now on, the base's affairs will rely heavily on everyone." They happily replied, "Don't worry, we won't shirk our responsibilities." At this moment, Zhang Jinyu ran over to deliver the news. "Brother Chen, look who's here." Seeing the two people in front of him, he was surprised and said, "Brotherly, Qin, you two are still alive." Qin weakly said, "Slow down, don't rush." Li Wuyi called out, "Brother Zhua." Li Wuyi seemed to have heard about the battle with Tian Shen. "Thanks to you defeating the boss, no, Hufeng, the two of us opposed starting the war. Initially, he intended to kill us, but because we've been long-time members of Maple Nest, he didn't kill us immediately but locked us up instead." With Hu Feng's character, if he had one, the first thing he would have done upon returning would have been to kill us. And if he lost, he definitely wouldn't have spared us. The two of them looked sorrowful. "Whether he locks us up or kills us, it doesn't matter, as long as he's alive, we're certain to die, Haze." Tian Shen immediately comforted them. "Hu Feng's death is just the beginning. Longhua City is still here, and you two have rich management experience. In the future, when we build the base, your involvement will be essential. Moreover, I'm just happy that you two are alive. Stay at the base from now on." Zhang Jinyu added, "All right, you two must be tired, let me prepare rooms for you to rest in." After saying that, Li Wuyi and Qin helped each other and left. Tian Shen spoke up, "Their network in Longhua is quite good, and they are also very reliable. In the future, they can help lighten your burden." Jinyu replied, Tian Shen continued, "And Lin Wei too. With her here, as long as you provide enough metal materials, she will definitely maximize her abilities, which will be very useful for building the base city in the future. As for Bruce's, his talent is not bad. If properly nurtured, he can become a true powerhouse later on. If you're confident, you can help out as well." Hearing these words, Zhang Jinyu asked Tian Shen, "Are you leaving soon?" Tian Shen calmly replied, "Yes." Jinyu asked, "When?" Tian Shen answered, "Tomorrow?" Zhang Jinyu and Tian Shen clinked their beers together. "Safe travels, and may you find her soon." Tian Shen firmly said, "I will." As Tian Shen sipped his beer, he thought to himself, "In this life, Zhang Jinyu's hand won't be cut off. I believe with his abilities, he will definitely stand out in Longhua City. It seems his fate has completely changed. Soon, I can also rest easy and go find her." The two of them remained silent, continuing to sip their beers when a figure appeared behind them. The two sisters of Teacher Luo silently stood behind and watched Tian Shen. The younger sister of Teacher Luo asked, "Sis, aren't you going to go talk to him?" She replied, "Let's go home." On the other side, Gao Fei had gotten drunk at some point. "Keep drinking. What's there to be afraid of? I'm not boasting. That Hu Feng guy is nothing. If Tian Shen doesn't come, I can handle him alone. What do you guys think?" The two men, while supporting Gao Fei, responded, "No doubt, everyone has seen Brother Fei's skills." They threw Gao Fei onto the bed. "Brother Fei, we're going ahead." Gao Fei replied, "All right, go on." As soon as Gao Fei lay down, he felt something strange. He ran to the bathroom and threw up, while a figure outside was watching him. Gao Fei sensed something and turned around. Suddenly, he threw a glass, shattering the window, aiming at him. However, the figure managed to dodge it. Gao Fei ran out quickly, but the person had already escaped. He immediately used a technique to strike him in the face. However, the person didn't want to confront Gao Fei and kept running. Gao Fei, seeing that he was trying to escape, chased after him. "You little punk, do you think I'm easy to mess with?" Having said that, he took a run up and, before he knew it, was almost catching up with the person. "Stop." The man realized that Gao Fei was getting closer and sped up, running full speed. Gao Fei thought his agility is incredible, even Luo Brat can't keep up with his speed. Gao Fei chased him to a dead end, lost the trail. "Who is this guy?" "Never mind, I'll ask Tian Shen when I get back." At this moment, Luo Lan was still diligently practicing. She struck the tree trunk with super fast speed. Gao Fei approached her and asked, "It's so late, and you're still training?" Tian Shen, who had appeared at some point, stood behind. "Why did you run all the way here?" After hearing Gao Fei's account, Tian Shen seemed surprised. "A man in black, with incredibly fast speed?" Gao Fei confirmed, "Yeah, probably a speed type. He's even faster than Luo Brat by a bit." Tian Shen dismissed it, "Not necessarily. We've encountered most of the famous experts in Longhua City. Could he be from somewhere else? It seems we've been too high profile recently. It's time for us to leave." Gao Fei agreed, "You're right, you still have to find your sister-in-law. If we keep lingering here, it will almost be dawn." Tian Shen lit a cigarette and asked, "What do you think about Luo Brat's situation?" Gao Fei answered while taking the cigarette from Tian Shen, "She's a bit too impatient. Continuing like this isn't a good thing." Tian Shen said, "Everyone's leveling up so quickly these days, and she's falling behind. It's perfectly normal for her to feel this way." Gao Fei was surprised. "You have a way?" Tian Shen replied, "Something like that." Tian Shen took out a piece of crystallization. "This is some crystallization that leaked out while I was absorbing it from the meteorite crystal fragment. The virus energy inside has been filtered twice by me. It should be able to help Luo Brat condense her new mark, or even level up." Upon hearing this, Gao Fei became eager. "Then what are we waiting for? Give it to her, and by the time we're all at the peak of level 2, won't we be invincible?" Tian Shen refused. "No, for Luo Brat, mentality is much more important than the speed of evolution. Before she gets rid of this impatience, neither you nor I should bring this up in front of her. Growing through self-realization is far more valuable than being guided by others." Gao Fei fell silent upon hearing this. Tian Shen ended the conversation. "Get some rest, we'll set out tomorrow morning." Gao Fei replied, "Okay." At that moment, as Tian Shen was on his way back to his room, he sensed something and stopped. "You're still not coming out? I guess you have something to say to me, don't you?" Teacher Luo realized at that moment that she had been discovered. "You had already figured it out, right?" Tian Shen said, "Your black armor has a distinct smell, and my sensory abilities allowed me to detect it quickly." Teacher Luo replied, "You're leaving tomorrow. Are you going to find Xin Xin?" Tian Shen firmly responded, "I have to go." "What about you? What are you planning to do next?" She hesitated before answering, "I haven't thought it through yet." Tian Shen asked, "Aren't you coming with me?" She answered, "It wouldn't be appropriate." The girl became increasingly hesitant, her hands continuously fidgeting. Suddenly, she ran towards Tian Shen and hugged him tightly. The unexpected action startled Tian Shen, and his cheeks flushed red. He softly called her name, "Teacher Luo." She shyly said, "Please don't say anything." Just for a moment, only for a moment." Tian Shen didn't say anything else, simply maintaining a serious expression. It seemed he understood Teacher Luo's intentions. He reciprocated her hug, wrapping his arms around her. They stood there, holding each other. At that moment, Teacher Luo appeared satisfied. She smiled brightly and said, "All right. Keep going, I'm sure you'll find her. Xiao Shui and I will always wish you the best. Get some rest, you have to get up early tomorrow." And with that, she walked away. After walking for a while, her footsteps stopped. Teacher Luo couldn't hold it in anymore and burst into tears, collapsing in a place where Tianchen couldn't see her. The sky had brightened at some point, and everyone had gathered to say goodbye to Tianchen's group. Lin Wei handed them some items and said, "And here are 10 throwing knives, with Cao Fei's abilities, these should be enough for you. The 2 daggers were personally crafted by me using the best materials for you, Luo Lan. These weapons have all been infused with meteorite crystal powder and meteorite fragments. There might be some kind of miraculous ability. What it is, you'll have to explore for yourselves." Luo Lan was delighted, "Thank you so much." Lin Wei turned to Tianchen and said, "Zhua Tianchen, this sword needs a name." He coldly replied, "You made it, so the right to name it is yours." She said, "It's the first weapon I've ever made using my abilities, with meteorite crystal fragments added in. Let's call it." Gao Fei jumped in, "Dragon Slayer." Luo Lan immediately retorted, "I'd rather call it Bloodthirster." The two of them argued for a while. Tianchen couldn't stand it anymore and gave each of them a knock on the head, "Shut up." Then he said, "Let's call it Meteor." She stroked her chin, "Meteor, Meteor, not bad. This is the best weapon I've ever made, so you'd better treat it well." He responded, "Don't worry, as long as the person is still here, the sword will be too." At that moment, a figure walked up, Zhua Tianchen. It was Bruce, who said, "I want to go with you. Let me follow you." Tianchen immediately objected, "Where I want to go is very dangerous. It's better for you to stay in Longhua." Bruce refused to accept, "No, only by traveling with strong people can I become stronger." Tianchen still refused, "But I don't want you to come with me." Bruce remained firm, "I'm not afraid of danger. As long as I can follow you, I'll do whatever you ask." Gao Fei teased, "All right then, how about this, you spin around 1,000 times on the spot, and we'll take you along." Bruce frowned, "Do you think I'm an idiot?" Tianchen raised his hand, "All right, Bruce, you're very talented. If you practice hard, you will definitely become very powerful. I've already given Zhang Jinyu the evolution spell. Go with him, and he will teach you." Bruce insisted, "No, I want to follow you. Unless you kill me right now, I'll never leave you, even if I have to haunt you after death." Bruce's stubbornness left everyone speechless. In response, Tianchen suddenly punched Bruce in the stomach. Bruce immediately fainted from the blow, "Take him back." With his personality, if I don't agree, today would be impossible to end. Then he said his goodbyes to everyone there, every party must eventually come to an end. "It has been an honor to meet all of you. Once I find her, I will definitely return to Longhua to reminisce." Everyone also said their final goodbyes. "I've said it already. If I'm not drunk, I won't go back. Safe travels. Keep going. Take good care of the blade." Then he turned to his teammates and said, "Gao Fei, Luo Brat, let's go." With that, the 3 of them started their vehicles and continued on their way. On the road, they resumed their conversation. Luo Lan, curious, spoke as he dozed beside Gao Fei, "Brother Tianchen, why didn't Teacher Luo come to see you off?" Actually, the day before, when Tianchen returned to his private room, he felt something in his pants pocket. In his hand was a letter. Was this put in by Teacher Luo earlier? The letter read, "I'm leaving, and I still don't have the courage to say goodbye to you in person. Meeting and parting are both fates. Thank you for all the help you've given to me and Xiao Shui throughout this time. I originally wanted to repay this kindness with my whole life, but only when Xiao Shui woke up did I realize that I can't let her grow up in this environment. She has had to bear responsibilities that she should not have to at her age. It's time to stop. Xiao Shui and I will find a suitable place to settle down, away from the zombies, away from humans. I don't know when we will meet again. Maybe when you find her, or when Xiao Shui is a little older. In any case, take care. Tian Shen, after recalling the letter, replied to Luo Lan, she's probably not happy either. He quickly changed the subject, you two take a rest for now. The journey ahead is still long. Let's take turns driving. Meanwhile, two mysterious figures were watching their car, they've gone. The other replied, The one in the cloak said, go back and tell him I found the person. The one with the scarf asked, aren't you going back? The man's face grew extremely terrifying, I have to stay here. I can't let them get through. The three of them, Tianchen included, had traveled some distance, and now they began chatting again. Have you ever heard of the Snow Woman? There was once a tale passed down in the north about it. It was said that deep in the snow mountain lived a snow woman. It was rumored that Snow Woman was extremely beautiful, but any man who encountered her would be frozen to death by her, and no one who had seen her had survived. One day, a scholar passing through the snow mountain got lost. Just when he was about to freeze to death, the young, beautiful woman saved him. The scholar was extremely grateful, but the girl told him that the only reason she saved him was because there was a rule in the mountain that forbade killing those who read books. However, since he had seen her face, he had to keep this secret for her and not tell anyone that he was saved by Snow Woman, or else she would surely kill him. Gao Fei continued, a few years later, the scholar became the top candidate, and married a beautiful wife. However, his wife was very interested in the story of how he escaped death on Snow Mountain, so she frequently asked him about the details. Eventually, one day, he could no longer bear it and decided to tell her how he was saved by the Snow Woman. After hearing this, his wife's face immediately darkened. She said that she was the Snow Woman. He was stunned and quickly knelt down, begging for his life. But the Snow Woman coldly replied that he had to die. And so, he died in a pitiful scream. Afterward, the Snow Woman also disappeared in the snowstorm, leaving behind a house frozen solid. The legend says that the descendants of the Snow Woman always have the word snow in their names. She came because of it, and she left because of it. After hearing the story, Gao Fei concluded, so, all the girls with the word snow in their names are vixens. Luo Lan retorted, that's nonsense. I have a close friend whose name also contains snow. She is an extremely gentle and refined person. Upon hearing this, Gao Fei became intrigued. What's her name? What year was she born? How tall is she? Does she have a boyfriend? Luo Lan angrily responded, what does it have to do with you? Anyway, she's not a vixen like you said. Gao Fei propped his chin up, it's just that, when compared to the ultimate vixen like you, her gentleness shines through. Luo Lan couldn't help but feel annoyed, I heard it already. Tianxin shouted, hey, don't make a noise in the car. At this moment, the car arrived at the entrance of a tunnel, and they immediately noticed something. Tianchen quickly slammed on the brakes, there's someone. Tianchen warned the two of them, don't get out of the car yet. Saying that, he stepped out of the car, I can't see through his strength. Tianchen was already holding his large saber, approaching the person in front of him slowly. Gao Fei immediately remembered, I just remembered. This is the guy who was spying on me when I was in Longhua. Luo Lan was surprised, spying on you? This is the first time I've seen you so serious, Tianchen. Outside, the two of them immediately engaged in close combat. Tianchen quickly seized the mysterious person's wrist and threw him backward. However, this person was no pushover, landing safely on the ground. Tianchen then realized, her target is the car. Is she here for Gao Fei or Luo Brat? This person moves very nimbly, his speed is on par with Luo Brat's, and the most frightening thing is her mental strength, which is unexpectedly superior to mine. My mental strength can't even reach her, and my sensing range is completely suppressed by hers. Third-tier mental system, this is a tough opponent. The two people in the car were also very focused on the battle, no way, it's just starting and they're going all out already. Tianxin stood up and said, I'll give you one last chance, take off your mask and explain your intentions. Tianxin then activated his skill, his hidden weapons were not to be taken lightly, if not, don't blame me for being rude. Tianxian counted each beat, 1, 2, 3, not speaking, huh? Then get ready to take the hit. As soon as he finished speaking, while rushing toward the mysterious person, the ground above started to collapse. Everyone present was caught off guard. The mud and rocks swept everyone away. The two people in the car could only shout, Tianxian. Tianxian struggled to get up after being swept away. This is just bad luck. He glanced to the side. The person, like him, had climbed onto the rock opposite. This guy is still alive. The two of them locked eyes beneath the large waterfall, and the mysterious person immediately turned and left. There's no time to think anymore, we have to quickly find them. At this moment, a loud argument broke out. Get out of the way, if you won't do it, I will. You can't do it like that. People don't survive for others. If you don't move, then just say so. We're friends, how could you do something like this? This person slowly opened their eyes due to the noise. In front of them was a group of people. Luo Lan thought to herself, I'm still alive. Luo Lan slowly sat up. Ugh, my head is spinning. The girl heard Luo Lan's voice and was startled. Luo Lan? Luo Lan asked, Are you Rui Shui? The two of them, after a long time apart, embraced each other. It's really you, you're still alive. How did you all end up here? Rui Shui explained, You're awake, thank goodness, Luo Lan. After the whole school evacuated, Mr. Zhang, the PE teacher, stayed with us to protect us. At first, we were supposed to go to Ji County, but there was a flood there, so we ended up here. Then we were ambushed by zombies. Mr. Zhang protected us but sacrificed himself. We didn't dare to wander around, so we had to stop here for now. Luo Lan had understood part of the story, so that's what happened. She thought, these people are from my class, most of them look familiar. Those two boys seem to be from the next class, it looks like they've always been together. At that moment, three girls approached Luo Lan, wearing unfriendly expressions. I can't believe you're still alive. It's only been a few days, and look at you now. Luo Lan, after so long, you're not even going to greet us? The three people are Qian Duo, Zhao Xiaofei, and Xia Jingjing. Luo Lan was surprised when she saw them. It's you guys. She thought, I can't believe these three are here. They used to always pick on me back then, what bad luck. They mocked her. Who would have thought, the famous Luo sister from class 8-3 would end up like this. This is what karma looks like. Being swept away by the flood and still alive is already a blessing. TSK, how pitiful. Luo Lan wasn't going to back down. I didn't expect to run into you guys again. It's true, anything can happen in this world. Zhao Xiaofei, you're still the same, huh? No matter how big the clothes are, they can't fit your huge body. It's the end of the world, clothes are hard to find, right? Xian Duo, back in school, I couldn't understand why you always targeted me, but now I get it. It was all because of those words, beautiful face brings disaster. Right, how could I forget about Xie Jingjing? You still haven't changed that habit of adding fuel to the fire, huh? You three definitely deserve the nickname I gave you. No wonder you're the three failures. With that, Luo Lan proudly raised her middle finger at the three of them. The three girls were furious. Is this how you treat your saviors? Rui Shui immediately stopped them. Don't do that, we're all friends here. Luo Lan is just straightforward, she doesn't mean any harm. One of them shoved Rui Shui hard. Get lost. I don't care what her personality is. Luo Lan quickly managed to support her friend. Rui Shui was taken aback when she saw this. Jingjing said, Luo Lan, that girl, earlier Luo Lan was clearly on the left, how did she suddenly end up there? Am I seeing things? Luo Lan suddenly apologized. Jingjing was startled, thinking that Luo Lan was apologizing to her, with a surprised expression on her face. Luo Lan, with a furious look, continued, I'm telling you to apologize to her. The three people were immediately intimidated by Luo Lan's stance. It seems like Luo Lan wasn't like this before. I feel my legs are shaking. Jingjing arrogantly responded to Luo Lan, what are you afraid of? She's just pretending to scare us. Apologize? On what grounds? Ruishwe stood behind her, trying to stop it. Luolan, stop. We're all friends. Luolan pointed at them, demanding, no. As long as I'm here, don't even think about bullying her. Apologize right now. At that moment, something flew out from the forest towards them, and it seemed like a very large zombie. Everyone was startled. Mutated zombie. Rue Shui, be careful. Luolan reached into her pocket but realized her weapon was gone. Never mind, it's just a level 2 zombie, I can handle it without a weapon. At that moment, the zombie's body suddenly moved. Beneath it, an arm pushed up. Damn it, it's so heavy. Gaofei slowly sat up. That was close, I almost died right here. Luolan and Gaofei came face to face. Gaofei. They both stared at each other in disbelief. How come you're here? This also surprised the people around them. They know each other. Luolan asked, how did you end up here? Where is Tian Chen? Gaofei replied, I don't know. Gaofei recalled the moment he was swept away. At that time, the situation was so critical that I could only throw you out. I didn't want you to die with me. As for me, I wasn't so lucky. I went down the mountain with the car. The car was completely wrecked. I was lucky to only have broken my left leg. She was shocked. What? Are you okay? Does it still hurt? He answered, of course it hurts. Don't touch it. Everyone around them looked at Luolan and Gaofei bickering and immediately began to gossip. Unbelievable, even with a broken leg, they still managed to take down that mutated zombie. This person must be evolved. I can't believe Luolan knows someone evolved. She's really lucky. The group of 3 girls watching this scene started to feel jealous. Jing, has Luolan ever had such a strong friend? Isn't that guy her boyfriend? Jing replied, it must be her boyfriend. Didn't you see how close they were? No wonder she's survived until now. Turns out she's been clinging to an evolved guy. Humph, she's just a scheming woman who's using a man. While Gaofei and Luolan were talking, someone called from a distance, Luolan. It was the girl who had badmouthed Luolan earlier, now running up to act friendly. Sorry, I was just joking earlier. Wow, you're amazing. Every time we saw that monster, we'd run for our lives. Gaofei looked at her and asked, is she your friend? Luolan replied, I don't know her. Gaofei responded, what a coincidence, I don't know her either. Hearing this, the girl's face showed signs of anger. Luolan turned to Rue Shui and introduced her, this is my friend Rue Shui, I've mentioned her to you before. Gaofei inquired, are you the girl whose name has snow in it? Rue Shui politely replied, hello, sir. Gaofei saw how cute and obedient Rue Shui was, and whispered to Luolan, Luo brat, my friend is not only prettier than you, but also has a much better personality. Learn from her if you don't want to end up single. As soon as Luolan finished speaking, she gave Gaofei a few hits on the head. Do you want a beating? Gaofei cried out in pain, ouch. You've already hurt me twice. Seeing Gaofei hurt, Rue Shui spoke up, do you guys have a place to rest nearby, or would you like to stay here for a while? Upon hearing Rue Shui's kind offer, Luolan and Gaofei hesitated. What do you think? Luolan thought to herself, with Gaofei's recovery ability, as long as he doesn't move too much, just resting for 2 days should make him fine. Finding a place to rest now is definitely a smarter decision. After he recovers, we can look for Tian Chen later. After thinking for a moment, she said, then we'll trouble you. A while later, they arrived at an open area where a plane had crashed and broken in half. Rue Shui pointed to where Gaofei and Luolan could rest, this half is for you guys. The conditions are a bit simple, but you can stay here. Luolan responded, it's fine. Having a place to stay is good enough. However, Luolan still had a question, how did you guys find this place? Rue Shui answered, this place was also discovered by Mr. Zhang. After we arrived in this area, we kept hunting and foraging for wild fruits to survive. Mr. Zhang found this spot, and that's why we stopped here. But now, with everyone splitting up, we don't know what to do next." Hearing these words, Luo Lan truly felt guilty towards her friend. She thought to herself, if we hadn't gotten separated back then and had met Tian Shen, maybe he wouldn't be suffering like this now. She sighed aloud, and Rui Shui seemed to sense Luo Lan's emotions, so she grabbed her friend's hand. "Don't be like this. We've reunited, I've." Before Rui Shui could finish, the mischievous friend from earlier appeared behind them at some point. "Rui Shui, it's break time." Rui Shui, not understanding why, looked slightly uncomfortable when she heard her friend's voice. "All right." Rui Shui turned to Luo Lan and said, "I'll head back first. You should rest early." Jing Jing complained, "What's wrong with you? Everyone's waiting for you, and you still want to stay out all night?" Rui Shui hastily apologized. Sorry. Luo Lan sensed that something was off about their conversation, so she spoke up. "Wait a minute, you just said again. Does this mean you've always been bullying her like this?" Jing Jing gritted her teeth. "No, it's none of your business." Luo Lan then slapped her friend hard across the cheek. Jing Jing angrily retorted, You dare slap me?" Seeing the tension between the two, Gao Fei cleared his throat deliberately, which caught Jing Jing's attention. Ru Shui also tried her best to stop them, pulling her friend's hand. "Come on, Luo Lan, you guys should rest early, we're leaving now, don't waste time, hurry up." Luo Lan's call made her friend turn around and look. "Wait a minute, if I see you guys bullying Rui Shui again, don't blame me for being rude." Her friend could only think to herself, isn't that bitch just relying on evolved powers? What's so great about her to be so arrogant? Rui Shui and her friend then left the place. At this point, Luo Lan turned to Gao Fei with an expression of dissatisfaction. "Why did you speak up and hint at her?" He said, "If we keep arguing, do you think you'll end up killing her?" She replied irritably, showing tender care for beauty and fragility. "Huh?" Gao Fei pointed out, "Don't you feel there's something off about your friends?" She asked, "What's wrong with them?" He answered, "It's hard to say. I'm unevolved with a mental system, so my senses are stronger than yours. I feel something's odd about them, but I can't put my finger on what's strange." Luo Lan seemed not to care. She sat down. "Let's recover first. When the flood came, we were only concerned with escaping, and our virus energy was almost drained. Don't talk about feelings now. If a level 3 zombie comes, we're both on the chopping block." After talking for a while, the two of them began meditating, a stream of light surrounding them. At this moment, Gao Fei slowly opened his eyes and looked at the girl in front of him, still so furious. He could only sigh. Outside, everyone seemed still surprised by the appearance of Gao Fei and Luo Lan, and began to gossip. Are they inside? They haven't stepped outside, nor made any noise. They must be sleeping. The guard is also gone, everything seems normal. Shall we begin? The girl was still angry about being slapped by Luo Lan and sighed to those around her. I'm so pissed off, that annoying bitch. Just look at how arrogant she is, isn't she just relying on having a man behind her? What's there to be so smug about? Her classmates all agreed, she has no chest, and her face isn't anything to look at either. I don't get what that evolved guy sees in her, but anyway, he's evolved, we shouldn't offend him. Another person said, that's right, maybe we should ask them for help, we might end up leaving here with their help. Someone nearby responded, ask for help? Have you forgotten our current situation? The girl seemed to have come up with a plan. We don't necessarily have to rely on anyone. We could try to win over that evolved guy and ask him to take us out of here. It doesn't seem too unreasonable, right? He's with Luo Lan, so he must be a lolly freak. Maybe I should give it a try. The girl couldn't help but laugh when she heard these words. If anyone is going, it should be me. As soon as she finished speaking, her friend teasingly said, Today, you've been left hanging by someone. She yelled back, Nonsense. I haven't even shown my real skills yet. The girl acted alluring. There's no man in this world I can't conquer. Luo Lan, with his skinny, scrawny body, thinks he can challenge me? It'll only take a few minutes for me to handle him. Rui Shui, who had been listening to their plan, objected, this doesn't seem like a good idea. The girl started threatening Rue Shui, I know you're Luo Lan's close friend. But think carefully, who will you help? Do you think Luo Lan will still treat you well after he finds out about this? Stop being naive, you can't expect the world to revolve around you. After seeing that Rue Shui couldn't refute her, the girl smiled, it's settled then. First, let's pull that evolved guy, Gao Fei, to our side. She turned and looked at Rue Shui, as for Luo Lan, you'd better figure that out yourself. Her words made Rue Shui's face turn pale with fear. Meanwhile, Gao Fei seemed to be in high spirits, singing joyfully, the little stream babbles along. You and I, let's go pick flowers. He was singing while aiming precisely at the flower. The sisters picked 1.5 pounds. The sisters picked 1 flower. Gao Fei looked like he was done with the task, his face very satisfied. At that moment, something suddenly targeted his back, but Gao Fei was quick to catch it. Hey, sneaking up on someone while they're peeing is a bad habit. Suddenly, a familiar voice mocked him, you're still happy even with a broken leg? Seeing the person in front of him, Gao Fei was surprised. Tianchen, how long have you been lurking around? Tianchen continued to tease Gao Fei, lurking or not lurking? Is there a single inch of your body I haven't seen? But Gao Fei's attention was drawn to the gun in Tianchen's hand. A gun? Give it to me, quickly. He raised his hand, causing Gao Fei to stumble. In a hurry, huh? Saying that, Tianchen handed Gao Fei the gun and reminded him, here, keep it safe. Gao Fei opened the gun to check, the magazine's empty. Hurry up and give me the sniper rifle. What's the point of keeping a handgun? And it doesn't even have bullets. Tianchen calmly retorted, didn't I already give you the bullets? Gao Fei then held up the bullet, come on, there's only one. How am I supposed to shoot with just one? Tianchen took out a cigarette and explained, you must have noticed by now, those friends of Luo Brat have some issues. Although we still haven't figured out what's going on with them, there's someone among them who hates Luo Lan. It's not just a simple conflict between students. Gao Fei still complained, I can tell. But this isn't that serious, if any of them want to harm her, we just take them out and it's done, right? Tianchen's face turned serious, Luo Brat can't rely on us for everything. So you should only use this bullet at a crucial moment. Gao Fei was surprised, aren't you going to step in? It seemed Gao Fei had guessed Tianchen's intention, yeah, I'll stay close by. If there's any problem, I'll contact you. Gao Fei still didn't understand what he should do, so, should we stay here too? Tianchen replied, no need. At this point, Tianchen presented Luo Lan's little mouse to Gao Fei. He continued, finding you guys this quickly was also thanks to Shang Biao. I'll follow behind you, and when necessary, I'll take action. Tianchen seemed very serious about this plan and reminded Gao Fei once again, you have to remember, starting now, unless Luo Brat's life is in danger, otherwise, let everything decide on its own. Go solo. Gao Fei was still not completely convinced, is it really necessary? I think the girl has been doing quite well these past 2 days. Tianchen remained firm, right now, Luo Brat is at an intermediate level, and at this point, she can definitely be considered among the top strongest. But there are too many people stronger than her. My uncle, Teacher Luo, the 3 of us have evolved far faster than she has, so it's inevitable that she'll develop negative feelings. If this situation continues, it will affect her growth. Right now, my uncle is injured, and I'm missing. This is the perfect opportunity for her to lift her spirits and regain her confidence. Luo Brat needs an opportunity like this. However, Gao Fei still seemed hesitant, if that's the case, won't the pressure on her be too much? Tianchen responded, a gem cannot be polished without friction. She needs to learn how to maintain a stable mindset. We can only guide her, the rest has to depend on herself. Tianchen concluded, moreover, don't underestimate Luo Brat. Tianchen exuded confidence. He spoke with certainty, her potential is no less than yours. In the end, Gao Fei was convinced by Tianchen's words, alright, let's do it. It's just an act, I can handle it. Tianchen then shifted to another topic, asking his friend, "Who do you think, among the three of us, you, Luo brat, and teacher Luo will have stronger potential in the future?" Gao Fei immediately replied, "It must be teacher Luo, her black armor is incredibly powerful." "Why are you asking about this?" Tianchen crossed his arms and spoke proudly, "Quite the opposite, I think teacher Luo has the least potential." Gao Fei seemed incredulous. "Huh, she's the least?" Tianchen continued to explain, "I never told you guys this before. Black armor, aside from its ability to break through difficult situations, has another important characteristic: it consumes its own kind. The mutated beings infected by the virus but still retain human consciousness, like the black armor, are called mutants. Their fastest way of evolution is by eating their own kind, otherwise they will eventually stagnate at some level." Gao Fei's face changed color upon hearing this. Tianchen comforted him, "But how many black armors are there in this world?" However, Gao Fei felt a wave of sadness after hearing this. Tianchen seemed to have said all that he needed to say, "That's all. You should be careful." Tianchen was about to leave but suddenly remembered something. "Oh, I almost forgot to mention. Just now, I sensed a wave of zombies. They will probably arrive here in about 10 minutes. This sentence terrified Gao Fei. He screamed, "Why didn't you say that earlier?" After a while, Gao Fei ran back to the airplane where everyone was resting. It's clear that Tianchen did it on purpose. There are zombies and he didn't report it early enough. We have to quickly go find Luo brat. As soon as he arrived, a wooden stick was thrown toward Gao Fei. He caught it effortlessly, a wooden stick. Luolan sat silently, continuously carving more wooden sticks, "See if it's convenient to use." Gao Fei said, "Thanks. When did you make this?" Luolan replied, "Earlier, Tianchen told me that to survive in the apocalypse, you must learn to use whatever tools you have around you." Luolan remained focused as she sharpened the wooden stick. "The metal scraps from the airplane can be used to carve the wood, so I made you one first. I'm also preparing to make more weapons, and then I'll set up a few traps around here. It's better to be prepared than to regret." At this point, Gao Fei recalled what Tianchen had just told him: "Jade won't become a precious item without being polished. You need to learn to maintain a stable mindset. We can only be the guides, the rest depends on the girl herself." Gao Fei showed concern. "Hey kid, you don't have to do this. Your strength now is enough to take out a group of zombies in the blink of an eye. There's no need to be so tense." Luolan spoke sharply, "What if a level 3 zombie comes? What if a level 3 evolved zombie comes? Or what if a zombie horde suddenly attacks? Tianchen has gone missing, and you're injured. I'm trying to sense Shangbiao's presence, but for some reason, I can't make contact with it." Luolan clenched her fist, "I can't keep relying on everyone like before. I have to learn how to bear responsibility." Seeing this girl grow up like this made Gao Fei feel more at ease. "Looks like I really underestimated her." Suddenly, a cry for help echoed from outside, causing Gao Fei's face to turn pale. "It's over, they're coming too quickly." Outside, a horde of zombies was chasing after the survivors. Luolan looked out the window. Why are there so many of them? When did Gao Fei climb up? He called out to Luolan, "Climb onto the roof of the plane." She responded, "I'm coming." Luolan had previously instructed Gao Fei, "You're injured, don't make a move later, let me take care of it." He was worried, "Be careful." Luolan spoke confidently, "Don't worry." Meanwhile, everyone else climbed onto the roof of the plane, just like Gao Fei and Luolan. Ruishua finally made it to the top and sighed in relief, "Huff, huff, so tired." She noticed Luolan over on the other side and immediately became concerned. "Luolan, Luolan, hurry over here." Before she could finish her sentence, her troublesome friend scolded her, "What are you yelling for?" Ruishua explained to the girl, "Luolan is still outside. The zombies are coming." The girl immediately grabbed Ruishua by the collar and growled, "Are you stupid? Let them stay out there and attract the zombies." "It's fine." Luolan hesitated, but by now, a group of people had gathered around Ruishua, continuously pressuring her not to save Luo Lan and Gao Fei. That's right, they might even hold the zombies off for us. We should take this chance to escape. Isn't that guy an evolved? Strong people should handle the heavy work. Don't you get it? They aren't even going to come. We don't need to call for them. Rui Shui still felt uneasy inside, but... what happens next? This girl seemed to have had enough and shouted loudly, if you say one more word, I'll throw you down to be food for the zombies. Rui Shui, hearing her friend say that, was also frightened and helpless. Her friend saw Rui Shui becoming obedient and immediately released her collar. With so many zombies here, even an evolved one wouldn't be able to protect you. However, Rui Shui was still worried about her best friend. On the other hand, Luo Lan, standing over here, was ready to fight against the approaching zombies. Seeing so many zombies coming, Rui Shui couldn't help but wonder if Luo Lan could handle it. Meanwhile, their friends beside them were gleefully watching this scene. Suddenly, the zombies changed direction and headed straight towards Rui Shui and the others. Everyone was stunned by this sight. The girl thought the zombies would go towards Luo Lan, but they changed course and ran straight at them, making her panic. What's going on? The zombies kept coming closer, and everyone was in a state of panic. What on earth is happening? Why is this happening? Why are the zombies suddenly coming here? Gao Fei and Luo Lan also felt something strange. What's going on? Gao Fei replied, don't ask me, I've never encountered this situation before. Luo Lan questioned, it's as if these zombies can't see me, their eyes are only on them. Could it be that they have something special on them? Gao Fei grew more suspicious, just keep watching and we'll figure it out later. Your friends are acting really strange. Maybe they're hiding something from you. Luo Lan felt hurt upon hearing Gao Fei's words, is Rui Shui hiding something from me? At that moment, Rui Shui slipped and fell. Fortunately, she managed to grab onto the window, screaming for help, help me, I beg you. One of the boys ran over to assist, come here and grab my hand. However, a girl named Jing Jing loudly said, what are you doing? Are you tired of living? Climb up yourself, no one has time to help you. Rui Shui cried and pleaded, no, please, save me. Jing Jing, seeing the situation, smirked with satisfaction, this will teach you to keep helping that little slut Luo Lan. Rui Shui, losing strength, her hands trembling, could no longer hold on, help me, please. As Rui Shui began to lose her strength, her hand slipped from the edge and she fell into a group of zombies waiting below. Suddenly, Luo Lan used her abilities and quickly moved to catch Rui Shui, pulling her out of the reach of the zombies. Rui Shui, who was saved, was also surprised, and the others who saw it couldn't believe it. Gao Fei's face, however, showed a smug expression, humph. Luo Lan took a run up, then embraced Rui Shui and leaped forward. She instructed Rui Shui, stay behind me, be careful, the zombies might hurt you. Up above, seeing Luo Lan's strength, they were startled, when did Luo Lan get here? The others responded, no, look clearly. She's too fast. Could Luo Lan be evolved? Jing Jing still refused to believe it, no way, that bitch could never be evolved. You must have misjudged it earlier, she must have just gotten lucky. Just watch, she'll be torn apart by zombies any minute now. A horde of zombies charged toward Luo Lan and Rui Shui. Luo Lan, be careful. Luo Lan seemed to have already figured out the monster's every move. She easily dodged their attacks. Using all her strength, Luo Lan swung her wooden staff with a mighty blow. The strike was so powerful that it knocked down all the zombies. Seeing that Luo Lan had taken down the monsters with just one strike, everyone was astonished. How is this possible? When did Luo Lan become this strong? Xiao Fei's mouth hung open, so strong. It's true, she's evolved. Gao Fei couldn't help but feel proud when he saw how strong Luo Lan was. TSK, I keep feeling like Luo Brat has a bit of the aura of Zhua Tianchen. On the other hand, Luo Lan still didn't seem afraid at all. She looked at the staff in her hand and said, this thing is too hard to use. With that, she broke the only weapon she had. Now, each of Luo Lan's hands held a staff, and she was full of confidence. This is much more convenient. Ruishui, stay close to me, I'll lead you out. Ruishui responded, okay. With that, Luo Lan disappeared again. Using her extraordinary speed, she charged straight into the zombies, laughing non-stop. In the blink of an eye, Luo Lan had struck each one with a blow, leaving them drenched in blood, collapsing under her attack. When everyone saw how strong Luo Lan was, the tide quickly turned. Luo Lan is too strong, let's go over there. Others agreed, right, let's go now. If we hesitate any longer, we won't make it. Meanwhile, Jing Jing's group was also in a hurry. Jing Jing, what should we do now? Let's follow them too. Jing Jing still couldn't accept the fact that Luo Lan was that powerful, damn it. With that, she gave the order, go, follow them. After a while of fighting, Luo Lan's group managed to escape from the zombies. Over on the other side, Jing Jing's group was lucky to survive by sticking close to Luo Lan. Jing Jing took a sip of water and then sighed in frustration, I'm so tired, today has been incredibly unlucky. Ever since I met Luo Lan, nothing good has happened. Someone said, keep your voice down, don't let Luo Lan hear you. Jing Jing wasn't in the mood for advice, I'm upset, can't I complain a little? Duo also advised, just keep quiet for a bit. Xiao Fei said, Luo Lan is evolved, so the plan we had before is no longer going to work, right? Jing Jing thought to herself, I don't know how this bitch managed to become evolved, it's unbelievable. Thinking for a moment, Jing Jing immediately stood up and ordered everyone around her, let's go, we need to have a group meeting. Xiao Fei asked, should we call Ruishui? This question sparked an argument within the group, no, we don't need her, Luo Lan is so powerful, who would dare bring bad luck upon themselves? We can't leave Ruishui out of the group meeting. That's right, Ruishui is a member of the group too. Jing Jing became even more irritated, that bitch, every time I meet her, nothing good ever happens. While the others were arguing, Gao Fei and Luo Lan seemed to be leisurely grilling fish. Gao Fei teased Luo Lan, Luo brat, it seems like your friends are really scared of you, they won't even sit with you, and they secretly have meetings behind your back. Your social skills must be terrible. Luo Lan replied irritably, just eat your grilled fish, you can't even keep your mouth shut when it comes to food. Ruishui immediately spoke up in defense of her friend, maybe after everyone found out that Luo Lan is evolved, they just didn't know how to interact with her. Once they spend more time together, I'm sure they will understand. Before Ruishui could finish speaking, Luo Lan interrupted, that's enough, Ruishui, you're hiding something from me. Ruishui felt as if she had been struck to the heart, her face immediately turning pale, and she couldn't say anything, we're all classmates, in this situation, it's only natural to be understanding toward each other. Seeing that Ruishui still wouldn't be honest, Luo Lan appeared displeased, I won't stay here for long. Tomorrow, when Gao Fei's leg heals, you can decide whether to stay or leave. At that moment, someone waved to Ruishui, signaling that she needed to join a group meeting. Ruishui stood up to follow, but was stopped by Luo Lan, who grabbed her hand, wait. Seeing that she had caught Luo Lan's attention, the girl became scared. Before she could say anything, Luo Lan rushed toward her with incredible speed. Her face was terrifying, scaring the girl half to death, and then Luo Lan asked, am I really that scary? The girl, frightened by Luo Lan's anger, was so terrified that she collapsed. I'm sorry. Ruishui finally caught up. Luo Lan quickly blocked her way, Luo Lan, don't make things hard for her. On the other hand, Luo Lan couldn't help but feel angry, if there's something to say it directly to my face, don't sneak around. Ruishui walked over to help her friend up, then reassured her, let me go over there and see. They probably just have something they want to tell me. Saying that, Ruishui immediately ran off, I'll be back soon. Luo Lan had no choice but to sulk and sit next to Gao Fei. She then asked him, Gao Fei, if it were Ruishui, what would he do? Gao Fei replied, you are you, Tianchen is Tianchen. You don't have to do anything based on anyone else's standards. Tomorrow when my leg heals, do whatever you want before that. In response to Gao Fei's trust, all Luo Lan could do was say thank you. Meanwhile, Tianchen and Shangbiao were in the middle of a large field when suddenly he smelled something strange. He followed the scent and in front of him was the corpse of a zombie. As expected, this is already the third corpse I've seen along the way. I once heard people mention this green mutation. It seems to be related to a type of zombie that combines with plants. The pattern here is exactly the same as before. Could it be that there's a zombie nearby that has absorbed plant genes? Suddenly, Shang Biao jumped off his shoulder and ran away. Tian Chen chased after him while shouting, "Shang Biao! Wait for me!" It seemed that Shang Biao had led Tian Chen to the place he needed to go and then stopped. Tian Chen looked at the scene in front of him and was astonished. Why are these vines growing next to the corn? They are so sturdy. Rui Shui reached out and touched the plants. These are definitely not ordinary plants. He then drew the sword from behind his back, warning, "Shang Biao, stay away." With that, he swung his sword neatly. Surprisingly, after being cut, the plants started to bleed. Tian Chen looked at the scene before him. It was a forest of zombie-like plants. Back to these people. They were now gathered around Rui Shui, asking him questions. They said, tomorrow, when Gao Fei fully recovers, they will leave. This made everyone around start talking. So soon? I didn't expect Luo Lan to be evolved. If they leave, we'll have to go back to living in fear again. Maybe we should beg them. Who knows, Luo Lan might soften and take us with them. They're evolved. It's unlikely they would pay any attention to us. Even if we try to charm them now, it's hopeless. Jing Jing immediately pointed her spear in Rui Shui's direction and argued, "No way, with Luo Lan's personality, at most, she would take Rui Shui with her, but there's no way she'd take us." Rui Shui could only weakly retort, I. Jing Jing threatened Rui Shui again, "Remember this, even if Luo Lan wants to take you along, you cannot go with her, don't forget your identity." Rui Shui was still at a loss for words, I won't. Before Rui Shui could finish, Jing Jing interrupted, "Humph, even if she offers, you wouldn't dare." "I've thought of a way. Why not make those two our accomplices?" Duo asked, "You're not planning to bring them to that place, are you?" Jing Jing replied, "Isn't there any better option?" Once again, everyone debated, "But we barely escaped from there, and now you want to go back? What if they die there? Wouldn't we lose more than gain? Luo Lan is strong, even if she goes, she might not be in any danger. As long as we don't go too deep, there shouldn't be a problem." One of the friends asked Jing Jing, "Luo Lan won't be easily lured there by us, right?" Jing Jing glanced at Rui Shui, "Of course not, but we have Rui Shui." Jing Jing whispered into Rui Shui's ear, "Rui Shui, now everyone is counting on you." Rui Shui trembled with fear at that moment. She recalled the memories from the past, when she and Luo Lan were very close, linking their pinky fingers and promising to remain unchanged for 100 years. The two of them swore, "We've said it, we must be best friends for life." A while later, Rui Shui returned to Gao Fei and Luo Lan's side, "The girl's back." Rui Shui called out, "Luo Lan." She asked, "Have they all left?" Luo Lan replied, "Yes." Now standing in front of each other, Luo Lan simply said, "Say it." Rui Shui, feeling helpless, responded, "I want to show you something." She then lifted up her sleeve. The blue birthmarks were exactly like the ones Tian Chen had seen on the zombies. Both Gao Fei and Luo Lan were startled, seeing them for the first time. Luo Lan anxiously asked, "Is this a birthmark? What exactly is going on?" Rui Shui answered, "Right now, aside from retaining my consciousness, I fear I'm no different from the zombies out there. To be precise, we've all been infected by the virus. We were originally planning to head to Longhua City, and the shortest route there passes through a place called Lihua County. That's where we encountered those things." Luo Lan asked again, "Those things?" Rui Shui explained, "It is a very strange type of flower, larger than any flower I have ever seen, and it releases a strange pollen. The zombies there all have a strange green color, and they are much stronger than normal zombies when we escaped from Lihua County. Everyone was attacked by the vines of that flower. We thought it was fine at first, but by the time we realized we had been infected by the virus, it was already too late. After talking for a while, Ruoxue collapsed and knelt down. Now we are like zombies, only able to eat raw meat and drink fresh blood, and not only that, we crave human blood like crazy. I have mutated, I am no longer worthy of being human. Luolan, having understood part of the story, asked Ruoxue again, so that's why you wanted to take action against me before? Ruoxue, hearing this, was unwilling. No, Luolan, you have to believe me, I had no intention of harming you. We are good sisters. Luolan's face turned stern. You didn't, but what about them? If I weren't evolved, if Gao Fei hadn't appeared at that time, would you have made a move on me? Could you have stopped them? Tell me, you guys held a meeting for so long, surely it wasn't just to get you to come here and confess, right? Ruoxue then spoke honestly, they want to turn you into one of us. Luolan exclaimed, what? Ruoxue continued, if you two become one of us, you will definitely live with us. With your strength, you won't need to worry about food or shelter anymore. Every day, I fear being chased and killed by zombies. Living with humans, but fearing they will treat me as a freak, I have no choice but to follow them. Luolan, I truly don't want to betray you. You are my best friend, you led me out of here. Please take me with you, away from them, I beg you. In response to her words, Luolan calmly said, Ruoxue, let me ask you one question, do you remember our agreement? Ruoxue immediately grabbed Luolan's hand, how could I forget? We promised to be good sisters for life. Upon hearing this, Luolan made up her mind to deal with those inhuman, monstrous people. Meanwhile, at the flesh-eating grove, they were waiting for Ruoxue to lead Gao Fei's group and Luolan there. At this moment, the group was growing increasingly impatient. Why haven't they arrived yet? Xiao Fei said, they should be here soon. Ruoxue wouldn't leave us hanging. Jing was very confident, don't worry, Ruoxue isn't that bold. As long as Luolan arrives, with two evolved ones to back us up, we won't have to worry about food or clothes anymore. After speaking, Luolan's group appeared, they've arrived, we've seen them, everyone hide well in the alley so they won't be detected. Luolan's group moved forward while scanning the surroundings, and it seemed that none of the carnivorous plants reacted. Jing's group observed from a distance and discussed, they've entered, but why hasn't that strange flower attacked them yet? Jing replied, I don't know either, sometimes that flower is dormant, and sometimes it's unusually fierce. Be patient, as long as they're still inside, sooner or later, that flower will attack them. Suddenly, in the blink of an eye, Luolan disappeared from their sight. Jing was startled, where did Luolan go? Suddenly, something attacked them, and everyone was frightened by its power and the noise. What is this? A mortar? A grenade? Why? At this point, they noticed Gao Fei on the other side juggling a stone, showing a provocative expression. Want to give it a try? Jing thought, what kind of power is this? Why is it so strong? Realizing they couldn't do anything, Jing's group shouted and ran. What are you waiting for? Run quickly! However, Gao Fei was quick to throw several stones with extreme speed. In an instant, Gao Fei had taken down quite a few people. Jing turned around and saw her friends being knocked down. How could this happen? In the blink of an eye, we've been. What kind of power is this? How can it be so strong? From behind, Luolan rushed over, her fist ready to strike at Jing. Have you been waiting for me for a long time? With that, she threw a powerful punch at Jing's face. The punch sent Jing crashing face first into the ground. She looked up at Ruoxue in front of her, so that's how it is. So you've been eating the apple and planting the fig. You wretched person, you betrayed everyone, how dare you still face me? Ruoxue immediately slapped Jing hard on the other cheek, shut up. I've had enough. From the very beginning, you've been deceiving me, using me. You said other ordinary people wouldn't accept us. We should unite because we are kindred. You've been deceiving everyone. Ruoxue cried as she spoke, I've told Luolan everything. She knows the truth but still didn't abandon me. From the very start, you've been fooling everyone. You've just been exploiting our fear. When did Luo Lan arrive at their side? She comforted Rue Shui, calm down. With that, Luo Lan put on a threatening expression, let me handle this. Jing, upon seeing Luo Lan's face, immediately begged, Luo Lan, don't, please. Luo Lan, no, Luo sister, I was wrong. Saying this, she knelt down at Luo Lan's feet and pleaded, I'm really out of options, I want to live. I just want to turn you into one of us so everyone can live together. I mean no harm, really. Luo sister, back when we were at school, it was my fault for causing you trouble. Please don't kill me. I really didn't mean it. Beat me, scold me, I'll accept everything. I'm just asking you to show mercy for our old friendship and spare me this one time. Please. On the other side, Gao Fei calmly lit a cigarette. When you were about to take action against Luo Brat, why didn't you think of our old friendship? Gao Fei's words struck at Jing's core. Recalling a day before, on the night Tian Shan and Gao Fei were talking, the zombies are here, and you didn't say anything earlier. Unlike Gao Fei, who was worried, Tian Shan remained calm. What's the rush? A few zombies like these are nothing you can't handle. But before we go, there's something I need to tell you. This morning, I overheard Luo Brat's friends talking. So, you need to keep an eye on them. Having said that, Tian Shan recalled the conversation of those people. I'm exhausted. What could we possibly find in this godforsaken place? Stop complaining, who knows, maybe someone unlucky has died inside. It's been 2 days since we last got any blood, we can only come here and try our luck. At that moment, they noticed someone and shouted, look, there's someone. You're right. Let's go, quickly dig them out. Luo Lan. Why is she here? She must have encountered a flood. When they saw Luo Lan, they couldn't bring themselves to harm her. Luo Lan, what should we do? She still looks alive, after all, she was once our classmate. However, Jing shot back, the food is right in front of you, don't say you don't need it. Besides, with her condition, she probably won't survive much longer anyway. It's better to let everyone make use of her, sacrificing her to save us all. I'm sure as friends, she would agree. No one dared to oppose Jing, and she took advantage of the silence. If you don't speak, it means you agree. Now, I'll let her rest in peace. At that moment, Rue Shui rushed over to protect Luo Lan. No, we can't do that. Jing was determined to kill Luo Lan. Move aside, if you won't do it, I will. Rue Shui tried to stop her. We are classmates, how can we do such a thing? Jing said, if you don't look out for yourself, the heavens and earth will turn against you. Now, will you move aside or not? Rue Shui still firmly defended Luo Lan. He is Luo Lan, how can you guys do this? Back to the present, Gao Fei, after recounting the story, immediately scolded Jing. I was right there, I clearly heard your conversation. You have no strength, so you want to drag others down with you, not even sparing your classmates. I really don't understand how you can still have the face to beg Luo Brat for mercy. Gao Fei put on a scary expression, a person like you hasn't suffered enough. However, Gao Fei didn't make a move. He asked for Luo Lan's opinion first, keeping this person is a threat. If you're not convenient to take action, let me. But Luo Lan was resolute, no, this is my own business. Jing was really scared, she pleaded desperately, Luo sister, please, I won't dare anymore. Whatever you ask me to do in the future, I will do it, just don't kill me, please, I beg you, don't kill me. In response, Luo Lan gave her a hard slap on the head. Jing's face was no longer intact. Luo Lan coldly said, get lost, don't ever let me see you again. Luo Lan's expression terrified Jing, and she scrambled to run away. Get lost. I'll leave right now. Everyone around was in shock. Xia Jing has run away, what should we do now? Luo Lan's eyes, like bullets, turned back to look at them. Anyone who met her gaze was filled with fear. Get lost, we're leaving too, run quickly. Gao Fei saw this and immediately asked, are you letting her go? Luo Lan replied, I don't want to become like them. Luo Lan's answer made Gao Fei feel satisfied. After everything that's happened, you've still kept your humanity, kid. Suddenly, there was a noise around them, and Luo Lan quickly noticed it. Gao Fei pretended not to hear and asked, "What's going on?" Luo Lan said, "I feel like someone is watching us from over there." Gao Fei responded, "It's probably just our imagination, why can't I sense anything?" Luo Lan couldn't say anything more and decided to give up. Maybe I'm just being overly suspicious. Let's go, we should head back. With that, Luo Lan and Rui Shui left, while Gao Fei continued to look in the direction of the noise. He seemed to have figured out that Tianshan was watching them. Over there, Tianshan and Shang Biao were hiding nearby. They had overheard the entire conversation between Luo Lan and the others. Like Gao Fei, Tianshan felt pleased. Well, there's some progress. Didn't expect to find zombie flowers here, looks like the road ahead won't be peaceful. The three people, Luo Lan, Gao Fei, and Rui Shui, had returned to the riverbank at some point. Luo Lan first checked on Gao Fei's condition. "Phew. How's your leg?" He replied, "I can walk without any problem, but if I want to fight, I'll need more time to fully recover." Rui Shui, hearing this for the first time, was surprised. The recovery speed of evolved people is that fast? You had a broken bone. Luo Lan explained patiently, "The breathing technique we practiced earlier not only accelerated our evolution but also helped us regulate our body's condition. Besides, Gao Fei is a second level evolved, so he's naturally stronger. Once we find Tianshan, I'll have him teach you the breathing technique." Rui Shui, moved by how kind Luo Lan was to her, couldn't hold back her tears. "Really?" Luo Lan nodded firmly, "Of course. As long as you're honest with us, we'll be a team." Rui Shui, crying, said, "Thank you, Luo Lan. You've been so good to me, damn it, I just can't hold it in." With that, Rui Shui turned away. "I'm going to the lower reaches to take a bath, then I'll come back right away." Upon hearing this, Gao Fei felt a surge of wicked thoughts. Meanwhile, at a house in the middle of the zombie flower garden, the others were gathered, discussing the events that had just happened. "Ah, it hurts so much. Xia Jingjing, it's all your fault, you kept opposing Luo Lan. Damn it, why didn't you speak up then? What's the point of saying it now? Now we're all injured, and without food, what are we supposed to do? It hurts so much." Luo Lan really attacked ruthlessly. From afar, suddenly, someone stepped closer to them. Hearing the sound, they all curiously looked over and recognized the familiar figure. Rui Shui. Jing Jing couldn't contain her anger. She grabbed Rui Shui by the collar and cursed, "You traitor, how dare you show up? If it weren't for you leaking information, we wouldn't have ended up like this." Suddenly, fresh blood splattered everywhere, and Jing Jing's expression shifted from shock to lifelessness. She had been stabbed directly in the chest by Rui Shui. She could only utter a final word, "You." Before Jing Jing could finish, Rui Shui gripped her face tightly and said, "I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Become my power." Before Jing Jing could comprehend, she had already been drained of all her life force by Rui Shui. Now, Jing Jing was nothing but a lifeless, dried-up corpse. Rui Shui showed no remorse, tossing the body to the ground where it shattered. Rui Shui smiled maliciously, "Come on, become my power now." Everyone who witnessed what Rui Shui had done to Jing Jing was terrified. No. Rui Shui seemed to have completed her task, feeling triumphant. "Finally, it's done. With this power, I can stand alongside the evolved now, right? And the breathing technique Luo Lan mentioned sounds pretty good. If I learn it, who knows, my strength might increase to an even higher level." Saying that, the birthmark on her hand gradually faded, but before that, it had to be well hidden. At that moment, a familiar voice suddenly rang out, "You still chose this path." In front of Rui Shui, Gao Fei, and Luo Lan stood before her. "Rui Shui, you've really disappointed me." Rui Shui still tried to pretend to be unaware. "Why are you two here?" Luo Lan tried to remain calm as she confronted Rui Shui. "Your security work is very well done. It wasn't until you exposed the birthmark on your body to us that I truly began to suspect you. Ruo Shui still didn't understand what was going on. The birthmark? Luo Lan continued, I have a friend, she and you are both mutants, unable to eat regular food, only able to drink fresh blood and eat raw meat, and human blood is the best. The most important thing is, Luo Lan emphasized, eating the flesh of your own kind. These words struck Ruo Shui's deepest fears. Her face turned pale. At first, I didn't know the characteristics of mutants, but after you revealed everything to me, Gao Fei told me about this. Tianshan had mentioned it to him before, and we had already considered this possibility, that you might be using us to fulfill your plan of eating flesh. Luo Lan's disappointment surfaced. I really can't believe my best friend would do something like this. I don't want to believe that you, Ruo Shui, are like this now. You weren't like this before. How did you turn into the person you are now? Ruo Shui, upon hearing Luo Lan scold her, could only cry, stop talking, you don't understand anything. Do you know what these past days have been like for me? You don't understand at all. Since I escaped from school, because I was weak, everyone rejected and abandoned me, treating me like a burden. The only reason I've made it this far is because I've had to play the beggar, humiliating myself and begging others. I had to protect myself, I had to live with dignity because of all that. Tell me to do anything, I have no other choice, I have no options left. Luo Lan could no longer bear to listen. She slapped Ruo Shui hard. You didn't have a choice before. What about now? Since you met me, you've had the choice to follow me, but you chose to deceive me. Back by the river, when they dragged you away, didn't you know what they were planning to do? Yet you still lied to me. You said you wanted to become stronger, and just a moment ago, I told you about the evolution technique you could have chosen, but you still did this. Luo Lan exploded with emotion, unable to hide her anger. I've given you so many chances, but every time you chose to deceive me. With that, Luo Lan grabbed Ruo Shui's hand and pulled her along. Today, I will give you one last chance. Ruo Shui struggled. Let go of me, let go now. What do you want to do? Ruo Shui kept struggling. Let me go. What do you actually want to do? Damn it, how is she so strong? Luo Lan immediately threw Ruo Shui aside, causing her to fall straight to the ground. Luo Lan pointed at the zombie tree. Look carefully for me. I'll ask you one last question. Do you still remember our promise? Luo Lan's question seemed to make Ruo Shui laugh in disbelief. Promise? Heh ha, as expected, you're still the same person, still as adorable as ever. Luo Lan, I can't believe you still think of me as a friend. Back in school, you were always the outstanding student, loved by everyone. Everyone surrounded you, do you know that? How much I admired you back then. Yes, I really admired you, so I had to become your friend. Forever, forever, best friends forever. With that, Ruo Shui pulled Luo Lan's wrist towards herself. Luo Lan, there's one more thing I lied to you about. Actually, I've eaten human flesh before. Not only that, the first person I ate was an evolved one. It was the gym teacher who saved me. At this point, both Ruo Shui and Luo Lan were ready to fight, their arms covered with marks. However, Ruo Shui continued, Luo Lan, absorbing evolved ones will help me evolve faster. Come here, let's merge into one. We'll never separate again. Let's be good friends, good sisters for life. The birthmark on Luo Lan's hand suddenly stopped and even started to fade away. This made Ruo Shui surprised. How is this possible? My absorption ability. Luo Lan tried to stay calm and explained, I am a second level evolved, with resistance to this virus. Unless I die now, there's no way you'll be able to absorb it. She was bewildered. How is that possible? Luo Lan firmly said, you've wasted the last chance I gave you with that question. You answered wrong. With that, Luo Lan delivered a jaw-breaking blow. Ruo Shui, unable to withstand the force, immediately coughed up blood. Looking back on the past, they had once been very close. Luo Lan, look, it's a sea of flowers, so beautiful. Yeah, it really is beautiful. Right? It would be great if I could go see the sea of flowers with Luo Lan once. Sure, when we graduate, we can go together. Really? Then they both made a vow, of course it's true. If you don't believe it, we can pinky swear, 100 years unchanged. But now, in reality, Luo Lan had delivered a blow that ended Rui Shue's life for betraying her trust. The voices of memories flooded back. Then it's a promise. Yeah. We'll go to the sea to see the flowers. Thinking of this, Luo Lan started to cry. At that moment, she looked at the zombie sea of flowers and said to the deceased Rui Shui, "You've kept your promise."